Hello everyone and welcome back to Totally Broken Opinions, the podcast about anything, and today's anything is the future of Pixar, or the death of Pixar, or just Pixar in general. We're going to talk about Pixar.
Yeah, so Pixar has been in the news recently for deciding to get rid of most of the staff and stop making...
Well, they didn't decide that. Disney decided that.
Disney decided that. And
big old Disney.
Decided to get rid of the new sort of films with new concepts and only do sequels.
Roughly. That's mainly what it looks like they're going to be doing. They're not focusing on creative-led projects as much anymore. And we're going to kind of discuss why we think this is, what movies we like from Pixar, because basically Inside Out 2 is coming out, and that's our justification for this. So essentially, this all kind of stems back to the pandemic kind of messing with Pixar a bit. Because if you think back, Disney basically just released all of Pixar straight to Disney Plus.
Yeah.
And that's kind of changed audiences' perception of Pixar movies now. Because why go to the cinema and watch the movie when in like 6 months it will be out on Disney Plus? Less than 6 months, to be honest, most of the time.
Disney Plus still maintaining on ruining films.
Yeah, so we had Soul, Luca, and Turning Red basically all went straight to Disney Plus. And then after that we had what was it? Elemental went to theaters. It did all right. That's like the only one that did all right. It did terribly at the beginning, and then it kind of got some traction. I didn't watch it. It didn't look that interesting. It just looked kind of samey to everything else they've done. I know box office bomb Lightyear was terrible.
Yeah, with Chris Evans, Buzz Lightyear.
Well, it was just a boring premise, because it's like, they did a Lightyear movie in like the early 2000s, like a straight-to-DVD video TV movie, and that was way better, because it was actually interesting and fun and made for kids, and not for, this looks really sci-fi space nonsense bullshit for a kids movie that kids don't care about, with time travel and killing yourself because you're your own father bullshit, or whatever. It was a weird movie. I
didn't actually realize Toy Story was Pixar's first film.
Yeah, first full computer animated movie as well. Yeah, so essentially Disney's basically struggling to figure out what to do with Pixar, because Pixar movies aren't getting as much traction as they used to be. Like, but The Incredibles, WALL-E, like anything normally that was like, even if it was a crazy new idea, because it had the Pixar name, people went out and saw it.
Yeah.
Like, it didn't have to be, like, even I think The Good Dinosaur, that I think people weren't super jazzed about, people still went and saw it because it had the Pixar name on it. Like, they were untouchable, basically. And then during the pandemic, everything that they had just went straight to Disney Plus, and people went, yeah, this is all right. Or this was terrible. I can get my kids to watch all of this at the same time, and I don't have to pay for a cinema ticket. I'll just wait for the next one to come out.
Yeah, so it's really weird because they basically ship loads of films all at once. The Disney model, I guess, with Onward, Soul, Luca, Turning Red, Lightyear, and Elemental all coming out in the space of 3 years or 4 years.
Yeah.
I mean, it's way more than Pixar ever used to do.
Yeah. It's an interesting, choice on their part. And then also they've got TV shows now, because they've got, Monsters, Inc. University TV show. They've got, the... I can't remember what it is. They had another show that was, kids animated one. I know Moana. I know that's Disney, not Pixar. But that was meant... Moana 2 was meant to be a TV show that then they retrofitted into a movie. So, and then they weren't even going to have The Rock and the other lady who does the voice. They just paid them probably a lot of money to come back to voice this.
It genuinely feels like the new ones. It felt like they're lacking what's a sort of actual heart to them. Or... I think
it's just because a lot of the time it's just... I think the trope for Pixar is, what if this thing had emotions? Like, what if a robot had emotions? What if toys had emotions? What if a fish had emotions? What if a rat had emotions? What if an old man had emotions? What if superheroes had emotions?
I would say it's it's a way of conveying complex emotions in a kid's film format.
True.
Like even like they say Toy Story 3, getting rid of your toys. It's like a lot of emotion, I guess, of feeling unwanted. And it's like, that's really like a real complex, deep emotion to have.
Yeah, but that came out in 2010, Dan.
It is, I know. But my point is, not a lot of things came but good after that point.
And then Toy Story 4 was, what if you get rid of your toys again? Because you don't feel needed and going on your own path.
Yeah.
It's just like, it's the same thing, but just looks nicer, I guess, because the animation, they made a cat that looks really realistic. I think it's just, Pixar used to be the forefront of like nice animation that was new and unique.
Yeah, and
now
the stories never really felt repetitive. Like, everything felt new and innovative.
Yeah, but now you've got a lot of competition from a lot of, like, I think Spider-Verse is a good example of like, this was groundbreaking, new, cool visuals. Whereas Pixar hasn't done anything like that. They've just got a base level of anime. Don't get me wrong, the animation in it is really good. Like, it's clean, smooth, perfectly fine, but it just looks like everything else.
Yeah,
Like
that's
Luca,
what I think. I think
Soul,
all these
Good
new
Dinosaur.
things, it's just... I wouldn't...
The only one that was kind of different was Elemental.
I wouldn't know. I know Pixar and Disney are technically the same thing, but they feel, I would say, more Disney than sort of the
they look
previous
more
things.
like Frozen than they do, or Frozen or Rapunzel.
Yeah, it
Or
just
Tangled.
like, all the films, it just feels like a cheaper Disney. That's all it feels like.
Yeah. Whereas they used to be better than Disney's own offering.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And just think of all, the classic ones: Finding Nemo, the first Cars, Ratatouille, WALL-E. WALL-E is a fantastic film for not using much dialogue.
WALL-E's
at
my
all.
favorite Pixar movie.
Yeah, I'd probably say the same. To be fair, it's like a proper emotional film, complex and lack of dialogue, and it doesn't need it because it's able to convey it in the animation.
Yeah.
I mean, don't get me wrong. I don't think I've seen many of the new ones, but I've not wanted to.
I haven't watched many of them. I can... So I got the list. So we got Toy Story. Have you seen it?
No. I've only seen Toy Story 3.
Have you seen A Bug's Life?
I have.
Have you seen Toy Story 2? We know you haven't.
No.
Have you seen Monsters, Inc.?
I have.
Have you seen Finding Nemo?
I have.
Have you seen The Incredibles?
I have.
Have you seen Cars?
I have.
Have you seen Ratatouille?
Yes, I have.
Have you seen WALL-E?
Yes, I have.
Have you seen Up?
I have.
Have you seen the first 6 minutes of Up or whatever it is that everyone's like, oh my god, that made me cry?
Yeah. To be fair, I hadn't seen much. So Toy Story 3.
Okay, I can guarantee you here's where you're going to check out. Toy Story 3, 2010.
Yeah.
You've seen?
Yeah.
Cars 2, 2011.
No, I've not seen it. I didn't know it came out, to be honest. Basically,
Brave, 2012.
I have seen Brave.
I haven't seen Brave.
I have seen Brave.
Apparently it's okay.
Yeah, actually, I thought it was alright, Brave, to be fair.
Monsters University,
I've
2013.
not seen it.
I have seen it. It's fine.
Yeah.
Inside Out,
I have seen.
2015. Yep. It's okay. I didn't love it.
I thought it was okay. I mean, to be fair, Inside Out, I think, is probably one of the best films, the best originals since Up.
I think it's an interesting premise. I just don't think they did anything that I would have done with it. I mean, they went... I know they're not going to go super dark with it, but like they had one moment where I was like, okay, yeah, no, that's what I would have done with it. And I think that was like the imaginary friend dying. I was like, yeah, that's good. Kill that imaginary friend. The Good Dinosaur.
I have not seen.
I have seen. I do not remember anything in it. Finding Dory.
Oh, I have seen.
Not seen it. I haven't seen it.
I have seen it, but it just feels like repetition.
I find that character really fucking annoying, so I was never going to watch
The
it.
thing is, it's kind of like the same premise as Finding Nemo.
But yeah, it's Finding Dory.
Yeah, and it's kind
But
of
I know
just
there's
not
an
needed.
octopus in it or something.
Yeah.
But it's brand recognition. Cars 3. Not seen it.
No, not seen it.
Apparently it's the best one, because Lightning McQueen crashes or something again and then has to teach a new race car to do stuff. Do you know Cars 2 is a spy movie?
Yeah, I did know that. Yeah.
It's crazy to me.
I know.
make
It's
Mater
why I
a
never watched it,
spy.
I don't think. I think the first one I think was pretty cool. And it's about sort of being over cocky and everything and then sense of
Yeah, I think
reality.
the first Cars is okay. Like, I didn't hate it. But apparently the Cars franchise is one of like their best-selling toy ranges.
They're definitely doing Cars 4 at some point.
Probably. Unless Cars died in the...
I don't know, I'm not seeing it.
Coco. Not watched it, but apparently it's amazing. It's the one with the guitar.
Oh,
and
yeah. To be fair, that one actually looks quite good. Actually,
I just haven't watched it. I don't know why, but I was like, oh yeah, no, that one looks good. I just haven't watched it. Apparently very emotional.
Yeah,
Incredibles 2 I
I'll look at
watched
that one.
because Incredibles 1, how can you not?
I have seen that as well.
It's the exact same plot.
It is. It's literally the exact same film, just with roles reversed.
Yeah. Toy Story 4, watched. It's fine. I don't love it. I mean, it looks nice, but that's about it. Onward. Chris Pratt and Tom Holland are elves in a fantasy world where their dad loses their legs.
I'm not gonna lie, this one looks awful.
It's fine. I watched it. This was the last movie I watched in cinemas before the pandemic.
That sounds. It looks awful.
It's fine. It's like if you've watched Netflix's Bright, the Will Smith movie, where it's orcs and it's like the modern world. It's just like it's a more interesting version of that.
Right.
Because with Bright, they kind of just have like current day, but they put orcs and there's no, like, they pretend that the history has had orcs and fairy, but it feels like they've just been dropped in. Whereas with Onward, they kind of show the way the world adapted with all of the elves and fantasy and magic and bullshit like that. It's still stupid. Like, it's a bad premise, but like, it's fine. Soul, I watched because of lockdown.
I've heard Soul's very good and it looks quite good.
I think it's interesting, but I didn't love it.
Right.
It's got nice music. That's the appeal to it, because it's a jazz music movie. Then we got Luca, which is mermaid boys go to land, and people hate mermaids on the land.
Isn't it just Little Mermaid?
And this is more of a gay allegory that people read into.
Right, okay.
It's like little gay boy doesn't feel like he's being accepted by the world and wants to move out and go, and then he finds people who like him, but he has a secret and he's worried that people won't like his secret. Then he finds people who like his secret. It's like, people read into it like it's a gay allegory. Turning Red panda girl period, something like that, I think is the like puberty. I think it's one of those. Didn't watch it.
Yeah, I think it's like, there's like a lot of like coming of age stories.
Yeah. Lightyear, I've watched most of it. I don't think I got to the end. I got bored. And then Elemental. That's the last one. I haven't watched it.
I haven't.
Apparently
watched
it's
it.
good.
It's a rom-com, apparently.
Yeah, it's fire and water love each other, and how will they get on? Because they're complete opposites. And the parents hate them, and it's an immigration story as well, because they're coming from another place. But this one did well. This one managed to make its money back, despite having a rough start. But I think they also did just leave it in cinemas for ages.
Yeah, like you will make money.
Well, they kind of have to, because these things cost a lot of money to make, I imagine.
I don't think it's too much.
Let's have a look at the budget of Elemental. Budget 200 million.
Yeah.
Yeah. Lightyear, let's have a look, see at its budget. 200 million. Turning Red, let's have a look at its budget. 175 million.
I didn't realise, but a lot of these films have the same directors.
Yeah, because it's just Pixar.
Yeah, but use Marvel as an example. Marvel has a lot of different directors.
Yeah, but
I didn't realise they would cycle
I think
so
it's
many.
easier to find someone who can direct live action than it is to direct animation.
Yeah.
Especially when you're doing it in-house and Pixar's like all about family. And it's like, well, we'll just have... Because a lot of the time I think it's like animators come on and then start directing. Because I know with Disney, they like to bring people from the animation who have like clear vision to like direct movies and stuff. Because I think one of the animators on like I think one of the ones with the rats, like the Mouse Detective or something like that, or something like that, went on to direct like Brother Bear. And it was just like, oh, okay, cool.
I think they need another film like Ratatouille or like Up or like
I think they need
Wall-E. It was like something new, like an actual new sort of concept.
They need a new... I think the stories are fine. I think it's just that people are bored of their animation. I think they need to do like a really interesting new direction on animation, like what Sony did or what the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles movie did, or just something that isn't these generic looking character models for humans and or
the Elemental was that.
Yeah, that's why I think Elemental did well, because people kind of went to go see a different animation style.
That's probably also why Inside Out did quite well, because that's very different. I know it has the humans as well, but it's not.
But it's inside.
focused.
It's like
Yeah.
you don't see the human side very often.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think that's what it does best. Pixar does best when it's not doing humans, or these humans aren't the main characters.
Yeah, have you seen Toy Story 1?
Yeah, exactly. No, I would actually agree. I think that is the biggest thing, I would say. Because for me, Luca and Turning Red, I mean, I've not seen them, but they don't sound interesting to me because it's just more coming-of-age stories. And I think coming-of-age is one of those things that's been so done now.
I think you can do it well. Like, I haven't watched them. I haven't watched Turning Red, so I can't state for that story, like, if it's relevant to, like, little girls and stuff like that. Because, one, we're not little girls.
That's true. We've never been one.
We don't have any opinion on the female.
That is true.
Like,
I mean, it may be better. I mean, we are
so, like, we are not the target audience for that.
That is true.
So
That's a valid argument. We're also grown men.
we're also not gay little boys.
Okay, that's a bit much.
If that's what the allegory of that movie
That's
is
a bit
gonna be.
much.
But we did have childhoods, and we did want to ride Vespers. That is the point of that movie. they just wanted to ride. That is the point. The whole plot point is they want to make money so that they can buy a Vespa and go across the country on a Vespa.
By a Viennetta.
Yeah. But yeah. So I think the story can be relevant. I just think the fact that they dumped it onto Disney, and they've now got to train audiences to go back to the cinema. But with the state of the cinema at the moment, it's very difficult.
Yeah. I think Disney and Netflix really, mainly Disney, to be honest, has ruined
Disney
it.
shot themselves in the foot. Netflix never cared about the cinema.
No, the thing is, it's having it released so soon after movie theaters.
Well, I think Inside Out 2 is apparently meant to be 100 days between cinema, like end of cinema, and coming to Disney Plus.
But do people think that? Because
I don't think people are aware of that, but I think Disney is going to have to bite the bullet a bit and start training people. Like, they've got to cut back the release date from cinemas to streaming. Like, they've got to make it longer. They got to make it 6 months, like it was for DVDs.
Yeah.
Because if you want to go see this movie, you've got to have it as an event that you have to go see before it's spoiled for you. Whereas if you can wait, because at the moment, The Fall Guy has come out straight to VOD, a week after it released in cinemas, and stuff like that. The release window between when they're releasing movies now and putting them onto streaming or VOD is so short.
Yeah.
So why go to the cinema?
Yeah, most families would be wondering why would I go cinema when I could get free in a few months.
If I'm paying £10 a month for Disney Plus or £7 or whatever it is for a free ad version,
I think it should be
is,
back what it used to be, which is a year or maybe 9 months maximum.
I wouldn't be opposed to it. I think you just need to have a system. You should have this delay.
Yeah, that's the thing. Because if I know, right, if I have to watch a Marvel film, I have to wait a year for it to come out onto TV, to come out onto Sky or Disney Plus, I'd be like, okay, yeah, I'll go watch it in the cinema because I don't want to wait a year for it.
Yeah,
if I know wait 2 months, I will happily wait 2 months to go and see it.
Yeah,
and to be honest,
I'm paying for this already. Why would I go and see this and pay more?
And to be honest, even by then, 2 months later, something else would have come out, and I won't even care about it anymore. It's a stupid idea. All you're doing is killing hype for things.
Yeah, you're also cutting into your own profits because with the olden way of doing it with the DVD sales, that gave movies a second life because even if it didn't do well in cinemas, it could still make its money back in DVD sales or through just purchasing later on in life through video purchasing on street movie VOD sites and stuff like that. And I think Matt Damon was saying because he was basically saying that with the death of DVDs and Blu-ray and everything like that, it's cut into studios' second run of it's now studios have to have success straight off the bat. If they don't, there's no profit afterwards because they've made this stupid model where they can't make money back afterwards. So unless your movie makes $1 billion, you can't really justify giving things a sequel anymore. Unless they're really That's why we're having Disney switch to we're only going to do franchises that people know. We're not going to do anything new because it's too much of a risk. Because if that movie that comes out and is new and people don't take to it immediately and it doesn't make money, they've wasted their money and they're not going to get money back from DVD sales or streaming anymore. It could do really well on streaming, but that's nothing to them.
No, yeah.
Because it's not paid for, like, directly. You're not paying £10 or whatever it is to buy it. You're paying £10 for everything that they own.
It is really scary that these streaming services...
Well, this is also the same thing that's happening with gaming.
Yeah, it is. I mean, gaming is still, I would say, earlier on in what Netflix and Disney was to cinema as...
but Microsoft is really trying to make Xbox Game Pass what Netflix is for streaming.
They're trying, but gamers are stubborn. A lot of gamers...
yeah, but gamers are, but casual gamers aren't.
True.
Dedicated gamers. You get the casual market and you tell them, oh yeah, you don't have to pay 60, 70 quid for a game and you can play every game for £10. You'll be like, oh yeah, that's great. I think most people don't know what Xbox Game Pass is well enough to buy it.
Yeah, I think the other problem is it's called Xbox Game Pass.
Yeah.
Because people think it's just for Xbox.
Yeah, but it's everywhere.
Yeah.
It's on PC. They want it on your TV. They want it on your phone. They want it... It should just be called Fuckbox Game Pass.
People are
that
stubborn.
Device you want to play it on.
Even casual gamers are stubborn enough to not buy an Xbox.
Yeah, well, there's no point.
Yeah. A lot of people will just buy a PlayStation.
If you've got a PC, you can stream it onto your PC. If you've got a phone, you can stream it on your phone. You don't need the physical hardware. Like, that's why Microsoft's shooting themselves in the foot, because they could make so much money off their hardware, but they don't.
They don't make money on hardware. That's the point.
You don't make money at the beginning. You do later on.
No, they never make money on the consoles. They make money on selling the games. And again, people
they have made money. Like, PlayStation has made money off of the hardware.
Maybe later on when the hardware gets cheaper to make.
That's what I mean. You never make it at the beginning, but if you sell well enough, you can make money back. But you always make money off the games immediately.
Yeah, they want people to buy going to Xbox for the games and the Game Pass.
Yeah, but they're also devaluing that because they're making everything the same price.
I think Xbox would happily just get rid of the Xbox and just go onto the PC side of things.
Well, I think Microsoft's trying to become Sega.
Yeah, but the thing is, that didn't work for Sega.
No.
It did kill them.
Yeah. No, killing them was they made too many bad consoles. Which, hey, look, Microsoft has made the best consoles according to them. They're the most powerful.
Yeah,
but they had nothing to play on them.
Power and size and girth isn't everything. It's about how you use it.
Yes. Anyway, back to Disney and Pixar. Side tangent.
Okay, well, where do you think Pixar goes from this now? Because them announcing they're going to not do new stuff and just focus on sequels. Do you think that's going to be more detrimental to their success than...
Yes, because people will get bored of them. People will go see them, don't get me wrong. Like, I'm sure people go see another Monsters, Inc. movie or another Cars movie.
Do you think they're doing this more because of what's happening with the streaming services? That people are no longer hyped to go see something new because they have no emotional connection to it. Whereas another Toy Story, another WALL-E, another Ratatouille, whatever, people will want to go see that because of the nostalgia.
It's brand recognition. Yeah, it's
emotional connection to it.
Yeah, it's recognition. That because the problem that they've done is you don't need what they need to understand is you don't need to spend 200 million on a movie. Like, you don't need to spend 200 million on making Incredibles a Lightyear 2. You take that money, split that between 4 different movies, give them 50 million each, and then boom, you've got 4 projects that you can pump out. Animation is expensive, but it's also you don't have to pay as much for people. You're paying staff, like, pay them right, don't cheapskate them. But you then have 4 projects, and one might make more money. Like, that's the way it used to be, is you basically gave smaller budgets, and then maybe one made a lot of money, and that covered the cost of all the others. But currently what they're doing is they're just making one movie that has to make a lot of money, or otherwise it doesn't justify its existence.
Well, to be fair, Pixar's you always used to make one movie a year.
No, that's what I mean, but they're paying too much in budget.
Yeah,
like it's like Marvel movies, like Marvel movies and the Indiana Jones movie. These movies have to make a lot of money. So they pump a lot of money into it to try and justify making it. Like Indiana Jones 5
Yeah.
is like £300 million in terms of budget. It's an insane amount of money, and it made no money back because who the fuck cares about Indiana Jones?
That's true.
Except some people. It was an old movie franchise that most modern people don't care about because it's not been in the public eye for as long as like Star Wars has.
Yeah.
And it's got name recognition, but who wants to watch a 70-plus-year-old man run around doing action? They already did that in the 4th one, and no one cared. But this time he's even older.
Here's a controversial idea. Do you think all cinema... I know physically it's not real, and it's not feasible at all. I know. But my point is, do you think it would help if all movies stopped for a year and maybe no new movies came out for a year, and then afterwards, when new movies came out, everything went to cinema first and nothing went straight to streaming for another year? Because then it gives people a break.
So they can go and see all these movies that came out that are good, but people haven't watched.
Yeah, people can get through the libraries currently on streaming services. And then...
So what you're saying, Dan, is we need another pandemic.
Yeah. Oh. You got the Illuminati, sweetheart.
Who is going to eat the bat this time? But no, I don't know. I think it's just Disney and all of these big studios need to just kind of pull their brakes on straight to their streaming service. Yeah. I know the problem with it is that you need constant feed for your streaming service, or otherwise people go, why do I need to pay for this? Because like Netflix's model is we'll put something out every single week.
You don't need constant things.
That's the way that they work, though.
Because most people who use Netflix and things, they watch the same things over and over again anyway.
Yeah, but this is the model that they think is what keeps people on it. It's not the quality of the show; it's the constant. Because you go, oh, I'll go watch Friends again, or I'll go watch The Office again, or whatever the other highest rated shows are. What was the one that Meghan Markle was in? Suits.
Yeah,
I'll go watch Suits again. But then once I've watched all of that, oh, there's another movie that come out that's shit. But it's something to watch. I'll watch Rebel Moon Part 1 and Part 2.
I mean, I don't know about other people, but from my own personal experience, I've not watched any new thing on Netflix, like a new film or TV show, for a long time. I tend to only watch it if I know it's a hit, because Netflix pumps out so much crap. I don't feel my time is worth investing in a TV show unless I already know it's good from social media.
Yeah, but that's also the problem, isn't it? Because you're not taking the plunge and watching something new.
Yeah, but
you're only...
Why would I want to watch something new when majority of it is crap? Because it is. Majority of it is crap.
This is the problem with the whole dump stuff on the streaming platform just to have stuff there for people to watch.
You don't...
It dilutes the quality across the board. You can have amazing stuff, but if everyone's perception of your stuff is just mediocre... Like, take for example Extraction 1 and 2.
Yeah.
Really good action movies. Well directed, well faced, good acting, stuff like that. But then you have it compared to everything else, every other Netflix movie that Netflix has made. And you've compared it to everything else and you go, oh yeah, maybe it isn't amazing. Maybe it's only amazing compared to Netflix stuff.
Yeah.
Like, that's the comparison people do in their heads. It's like, was this really that good? Because everything else Netflix does is kind of bad. And it's the same with Disney. It's like, WandaVision and all of this, and The Falcon and the Winter Soldier and all of these TV shows that Disney did.
Yeah.
Were they good, or was it just because I like the characters already?
Yeah, I think that's the biggest thing about the Marvel stuff especially has been fairly shit.
Yeah, because they basically went, here's a load of stuff.
I think
without taking the time to craft it. Like, WandaVision, good, and then it turns into a Marvel thing.
Yeah, I think Disney's saving grace at the moment is the FX series productions.
Yeah.
Those are the ones that actually are good.
Yeah.
They tend
to... from quality brands, like when they've already had them.
Yeah, and I think the good thing about those, and I think Disney... I know they've had a problem with Marvel in recent years, but they have seemed to slow down on... They've not done what Netflix does and just pump out loads of
they've
shit
at least
content.
taken the accelerator off. They're still doing a lot, but with like this year, we've only got one Marvel movie.
Yeah, for good reason.
And we're getting 2 TV series later in the year. Agatha and something else, maybe?
Yeah.
Maybe another What If? I don't know. But your main issue with it is like Star Wars. They've pumped way too much Star Wars out. They need to... The problem is they just don't give stuff time to breathe. Like, I reckon you take Pixar away for maybe 2 years, give it a 2-year break. So let people catch up, watch what they have and haven't watched on Disney. Give it a 2-year break. Take the time to have this new interesting art style or something. Just a new take on animation. Because that's what Pixar used to be known for, is visually interesting, nice looking movies. And now we're getting much harsher competition. Like, you've got Studio Ghibli, you've got Sony Animation doing okay in some areas, terrible in others. You've got DreamWorks coming in with like Puss in Boots. You've got and the Bad Guys and stuff like that, where it's all visually interesting stuff. But you just need Pixar to come out and stand above like Disney and everything else that they're doing. They just need something visually catching, which I don't know what they could do for that. But I think even if they just maybe they do like sketched art, like like physical live sketch, like where it's all like you see the sketching. Like, I don't know, but just something different. It's easier said than done. Don't get me wrong. Like, it's so easy to say.
Honest,
they just need to do something new.
The whole industry as a whole, it needs something new. Everything now is sequels and repetition because it makes
it's the safer
loads
bet.
of money. It's a safer bet because years ago, when all these initial things came out, a lot of studios were making films, and people don't remember those other films because time goes by and people forget about them.
Yeah,
and there's loads of studios out there that failed, right? And it's only the ones that succeeded, like the Pixars, who we remember today, and they're trying to maintain that success and ride that high, but it doesn't work like that.
Okay, so you take Terminator, right? The first 1 and 2 are beloved.
Yeah,
no doubt about it. Everyone universally, Terminator 1 and Terminator 2, amazing. Terminator 3, people go, bad. Terminator Salvation, bad. Terminator Genesis, bad.
They're just forgettable. People forget about them.
Bad. Yeah, but it's recognizable, so people go and see it hoping that it will be good. And ultimately, the shine and the love is gone, and it's just become a soulless corporate robot.
Yeah, I think just let good films be what they are, and let there be space for the new goods. But people, obviously, they're not going to do that because we live in a capitalist world, and
it's money. It's profitability.
Money talks, and big industries.
Like that's why we're getting another Toy Story movie, even though they've ended that.
Yeah, like they're never going to let these franchises die because they know it makes money, and it doesn't matter how good it will be because it will make money regardless.
Like, what the fuck is the story of Toy Story 5 going to be?
It's just not needed. The Toy Story 3 was like a perfect end to the franchise. It was perfect. You did not need to make another one.
You had that sad moment where they're all in that furnace and they're all holding hands about to die. And then they have the light comedic moment of the stupid aliens picking them up with the claw. You get it because it's a callback to the movie where they got picked up by a claw.
Yeah. And that was it. It just needed to end, but honestly, I don't know.
But you have a story to tell where they made a plastic spork. Really annoying.
It's really stupid. It really is stupid, isn't it?
I don't hate that movie, but I'm just like, it's so unnecessary.
It's more why does it exist?
But like, are we gonna now get a Ratatouille 2 and a WALL-E 2?
I hope not. I really hope not.
Are we gonna get an Up 2? Because we've already had Up, like Carl goes on a date, the short. Have you seen that? Because I haven't. It's an old man apparently going on a date for the first time because his wife died all that time ago. And you're like, oh, that's sweet for that old man, but he's going to die, so this relationship's going to be so short. But good for him. He's going to get sex at 90 years old or whatever. But yeah, we should get a Bug's Life too. That'd be funny. Just imagine. 30 years later, Bug's Life 2.
It's going to happen. It's going to happen.
Yeah. I don't know. I really don't want them to just keep making sequels to things. Because, like, Wall-E, how do you go from where Wall-E is? Like, you can't really go anywhere with that unless you see humanity thriving on Earth again. But where's the intrigue?
No,
Unless
you
it
can't change
starts having the problems of corporations taking over again and doing everything wrong. And then a robot comes in and puts a plant in a thing and goes, Wall-E!
Wally.
That sounded like Wario.
Wario.
Or Luigi.
Luigi.
Waluigi.
Waluigi.
Yeah. But yeah, I don't know why because I think studios just need to put less money into smaller projects. You can still have your big like sequel bait movies, but you just need to put more money into.
They have been doing it. The little.
Not really.
Ones. What Luca and Inside Out and Turning Red? These are all new ideas at the time.
Yeah,
well,
no,
ideas,
I'm not saying they're not.
They're new franchises.
I'm saying the budgets for them are insane. Like, Inside Out cost 175 million. Like, Luca cost... Oh, it doesn't say how much Luca cost. Why is Luca the one that we don't get to see how much cost? I reckon that was like 200 million. Soul cost 150 million. Like, I reckon if you just drop the budget down to like 100 mil, just give a budget of 100 mil. Because the thing is, when you give people infinite money, it means that they don't have to challenge themselves to do anything because they just go, oh, I'll fix it later.
Yeah.
I have the money to fix it. Like, you don't have the Iron Man 1 effect where if this movie fails, we only have a certain amount of budget. We need to get everything as good as it can be at this point. We need to work around the struggles that we have. It adds innovation. It adds creativity. Whereas if you can just rest on your laurels and go, oh yeah, no, we can fix it with CGI later. We don't need to film a shot properly or interestingly because we can just fill in the background with some visuals later.
Yeah.
It just makes everything static and boring because you just go... Because, like, you look at Ant-Man and the Wasp. It's just people standing in front of backgrounds.
Yeah, that's true.
There's nothing interesting happening with the camera. There's nothing happening interesting with the people. It's just, oh, we can... And that's the whole point of movies, is you have interesting shots, you have interesting visuals, and they all tie together to make the story, like, interesting. Like, if you just had, like, the olden days where it was just put the camera down and then act in front of the camera, people will go, oh, this is boring. And that's what we're currently in. We're in the stand in front of a camera, and we'll put the background to look interesting. No wonder people are looking at Surfway Runners or whatever it is, that game, in the bottom corner. I guess that's probably more visually interesting than most current movies. But yeah, that's probably enough about that.
Yeah, I was going to say, I think I'm ready to wrap up now on the Pixar front.
What is ELO?
That's the new film coming out. It's based on a boy who goes to space, which actually is a relatively new concept for Pixar. Bob and Wall-E, but yeah, it's kind of a bit more interesting. To be fair, that one actually does look interesting. We'll give it that.
I know they had... I can't remember if it was Disney or Pixar, but they cancelled a project about lizards or something. I think it was Pixar. Because...
Maybe it was a lizard
I know that Pixar tends to have like an Easter egg to their next movie in their like movie beforehand. And I think either like Brave or something had an Easter egg to this movie. And it was like something about lizards. And I was just like, oh, that could have been interesting. Because I can't remember the plot of it. But I think Disney just canned it. Because they were like, who the fuck cares about lizards? And I was like, but I like lizards. I would have watched a movie about lizards having emotions. Like every Pixar movie. But yeah. Anyway, thank you for listening. If you've watched Inside Out 2, let us know if it's any good. Did it make you feel emotions about emotions?
Hey, I might go watch it.
I might. I really didn't care that much about the first one.
I thought it was fine. I thought it was good to keep it as one and done, but you know, Pixar likes making sequels now.
Well, I don't think they like it. I think they're forced to.
Yeah.
I mean, if they don't do sequels, Disney will pull their budgets. But hey, look, what do we know? We're just two dumbasses on the internet with totally broken opinions.
Yeah, look at that. What an ending.
Anyway, like, comment, subscribe, do all the fun things. Share this with friends who like Pixar or hate Pixar. You never know. Go back and check out some of our older videos and episodes. And we will see you in the next one. We don't know what it is yet.
Well, maybe Xbox Showcase. That's not what we're doing.
It might be. It might be just Xbox and PlayStation again in general. Who knows?
Yeah.
Did well, the last one we did. We'll see how this one does. Maybe we'll do a sequel to this.
Maybe we should do an episode of just your thoughts.
Maybe we should just do sequels to all of our stuff, Dan, because...
Yeah, maybe that's what
Why
we should
not?
do. Maybe that's what we're going wrong.
Yeah, we'll just do sequels to episodes, regardless of how well they did. We're just going to pump out the franchise machine. There we go. Right, anyway, bye.
Bye.